People really don't know what their expenses will be because they don't know how long that they're going to live.
Americans are worried they won't have enough saved for retirement now more than ever.
Retirement's going to cost, for many folks, over $1 million.
Is no sure thing in investing, but a lot of people think that annuities may come close to that.
It's going to more safe things that they know. If they know they're going to need that money to supplement their retirement, well, then you can't play that risk.
This is Safe Money and Retirement with Jon Heischman Sr., founder and partner of Heischman Financial Services, serving the Columbus area. Jon specializes in educating pre-retirees and retirees about safe money strategies and ideas. And now, Safe Money and Retirement with Jon Heischman Sr.
Welcome to Safe Money and Retirement. I'm your host, Jon Heischman. There is a very important topic that I want to talk about, which is, do you have too much of your qualified money at risk? Now, when I talk about qualified money, 401k, IRA accounts that you have going into retirement, or if you just retired. Prior to retirement or getting ready to retire, you have contributed to a 401k or an IRA, possibly both, and usually that money is at risk. And that's a good thing because we want to get maximum growth. You've seen it go up and down, but for the long run, you've made money. But now you're getting ready to retire, or you've retired, and this money is going to be used for income during retirement. We want to make sure that money's going to be there. You have built and accumulated your wealth, and at this point, you're in what I call the preservation phase, where you want to keep as much of this money as possible because you're going into the distribution phase, and it's got to last the rest of your retirement. Albert Einstein once said, the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. This is particularly true when it comes to your IRA, 401k, and other qualified retirement plans. You earn interest on your deposits, you earn interest on your interest, and you can earn interest on what otherwise would have been paid in taxes in a non-taxed account. The triple compounding effect can help your retirement accounts grow faster and last longer. According to the Investment Company Fact Book, published by the Investment Company Institute, approximately 83% of America's pension assets are at risk in the market. By October 2007, the nation's pension assets had grown to $17.6 billion. Then, of course, we all know what happened. The great crash of 2008 arrived unannounced, and many investors' retirement savings evaporated before their eyes during this worst financial crisis that Americans have seen in their lifetime. If you were in your 30s or even 40s, most likely you've recovered from this unannounced disaster. But what if you were getting ready to retire? We have to look at what effect this would have on your retirement income. A lot was learned from 2007, 2008, and hopefully corrections have been made that this won't happen again. But we don't know for sure. We're in a different world today, and we don't know what the future is going to bring. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that all of your money be moved to safe money where you have no risk. But what I am saying is an adjustment may need to be made to protect the amount of money that's going to be projected for lifetime income. When I say lifetime income, I'm referring to guaranteed lifetime income that safe money provides. So it's going to be there the rest of your life, the rest of your retirement. And once that's established, the balance of your funds can be at risk because of the growth potential. Do you have too much of your retirement savings at risk? When I meet with a client or a prospective client, we're going to talk about that. We're going to do an analysis to determine your risk tolerance and how much money you have at risk before we start the income plan. But when I meet with a new potential client, most have no idea if they have too much money at risk. So I offer a no-cost, no obligation meeting to determine if you have too much money at risk going into retirement, or even if you're in retirement. Let me give you the number to call, and you can call this number anytime during the day, evenings, or weekends to request a complimentary meeting. 888-426-0177. I'll give you that number again, 888-426-0177. You can also request information or schedule a meeting by going to my website. That is HeischmanFS.com. HeischmanFS.com. And that is for Heischman Financial Services. When determining how much of your retirement savings to keep at risk, the two most important issues to consider are your time horizon and, as I referred to a little bit ago, risk tolerance. Your time horizon is when you'll need to take income from these accounts to maintain a comfortable retirement. So, the older you are, the shorter your time horizon is. Calculating risk tolerance, it's simple. Don't gamble with more than you can afford to lose. A risk tolerance test is a little bit more detailed than that statement I just gave you, but basically that sums it up. Don't gamble with more than you can afford to lose. When considering risk tolerance and time horizon, age is a big factor. For example, a 45-year-old planning to work another 20 years will normally have a greater risk tolerance and obviously a longer time horizon than, let's say, a 65-year-old. And I think this makes sense because the 45-year-old will continue to earn income and can continue to invest in the retirement account for 20 years plus. And as I said before, history shows that money at risk that possibly has been lost, it will come back. When and how much is the question, but it will come back. The younger you are, the more you can enjoy the advantages of long-term growth and dollar cost averaging. For that 65-year-old retired person, it's a very different ballgame. After retirement, many savers are no longer able to contribute to their IRA or 401k plans if they're not working. No longer is there earned income, so continued investing, it may not be an option. The advantages of dollar cost averaging, it'll be lost unless there is earned income and that retiree can afford to invest. Another problem facing retired workers is their time horizon is shorter. Most of the time, I see Social Security and company pensions alone may not produce enough income to keep pace with inflation or deal with the unexpected financial needs that almost all retirees are going to face somewhere in retirement. And they may need income from their retirement savings sooner. So what we need to do is to determine how much of your retirement assets need to be in safe money. Safe money is going to provide you with the guaranteed income sources that typically is needed to supplement Social Security and a pension plan that you receive if you're lucky enough to have a pension. Now, if you don't, which many people today don't because we're seeing pensions disappear daily. So if you don't have a pension, it's even more important to protect those assets needed for income. So again, the question is, do you have too much of your retirement assets at risk? I can work with you to determine that and give you ideas and concepts that have helped many retirees that I have worked with over the many years of retirement planning. So I'd love to hear from you and have a discussion about how much you should have at risk at this point and share with you what has worked for my clients. 888-426-0177, 888-426-0177. And keep in mind, when you go to my website, there are past podcasts that I've done on a lot of different ideas about retirement planning. Thank you for joining me. This is your host, Jon Heischman. I appreciate your time and interest.
You've been listening to Safe Money and Retirement with Jon Heischman Sr. Get in touch with Jon. Call 1-888-426-0177. That's 888-426-0177. For more information about Heischman Financial Services, visit their website at HeischmanFS.com. That's HeischmanFS.com. Join us again next time for Safe Money and Retirement with Jon Heischman Sr.